Blah blah, episode number 5. So I warmly invite you to all of the crafting metaphors for handmade transformation. In previous episodes, especially in episode 1, I nailed 5-step process, which is totally easy and which is a metaphor taken from handmade life, given on an example of a handmade knitted or crocheted scarf that can be taken to literally anything in your life in order to look at things from different perspectives that could support you in fulfilling your goals and dreams. Last episode, I finished on step 3, which was all about, the first one preparing, the second one start, and the third one, the whole thing that happens before we finish. And now we go into third step where we finish our work. So in my example, that was handmade scarf. So, I'm at the point. I have this scarf, like I grasp it in my hand. Like I have this tangible proof of what I'm capable at. I can knit a scarf. I can create that out of, woolen, like, I don't know, woolen things that I'm holding. And I did grasp a crocheting hook or knitting stick and I did a scarf. Like, wow, I can do it. But it's not only about that thing that I'm holding in my hand. Like, it's barely about that thing, that handmade item. Okay, maybe a bit. Like I can put it on like, and look how fancy do I look like with all my coats. But it's more about the things that are happening here and here. So in your heart, you probably feel this accomplishment, this pride, this self, self, I don't know, self-fulfilled heart that you did that on your own, like your hands created that tangible item. And in your mind, you have this tangible proof that you're able to acquire a new skill. Like you haven't had the idea how to crochet and now you've got the scarf. Like you do have the basics, right? Like it's just like this clear as sky. Like you have this process from point A to point B. And that's this magic because those feelings, this self-fulfillment, this pride, this happiness about the fact that you're able to acquire a new skill, plus you've got this tangible proof that it's really possible for you. It doesn't end there. It's just an invitation to what's next. And that's why I love this allegory because, like in life, for example, in business, you did have this goal, like 10K a month. And the moment you hit it, like sometimes you even miss that you did because you're so in love with this process. It's like, you forgot that the scarf is ready and suddenly it's 3 times longer because you were so in love with the crocheting. Like, you hit that goal, but it doesn't end there. Once you hit those 10K months, you crave for more. You've got the appetite maybe for 100K months. And when you go back to previous episode, I use this metaphor because once you're preparing to to start with pursuing your goal, and if you did pursue the goal of 100K month, that would be probably the reason why you would not even start because you wouldn't believe that it's possible. But now, when you have this tangible proof, this 10K month, this scarf, like once you have the scarf, you can believe that you can do a, I don't know, long sleeved hoodie, like a sweater, like a proper sweater with some complicated patterns, like because you have the scarf in your hand. You've got this proof that you can make it, right? More ambitious goal is possible because you have this gateway in shape of a scarf. It's the same with this 10K month, which is a gateway to 100K month. We oftentimes hear those business stories that we have like, I just did hit 10K month and then in 3 months I had 100K month and then I doubled and then I tripled and it's like 10 million months, like, and it feels like this first switch, like this first 10K or 6K or like 3K, whatever the number, like This first switch in our mind, this moment, we have this invitation for more, this tangible result of going through that process, be it a scarf, but also as an allegory of the process we go through in life, like setting up those goals and then starting and pursuing and making errors, but still not giving up and then getting it. That's the invitation for more. So if I were to summarize this step, this fourth step, I wouldn't say that it's about, completion. It's not about having the scarf. It's all about the invitation for more. So just like in handmade, when you're thinking about this handmade item, I did invite you to think of something handmade at this beginning of the series. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to episode 1. That's going to be crystal clear for you. Plus, you're going to have a beautiful anchor that will remind you of what I said. Think of this tangible product you've been thinking. In my case, that's a scarf. That could be different for you, but think of that product and now try to think of it as an invitation for more, as a tangible proof that you're capable for more because you know the process. You know how to push yourself to start. You know how to be imperfect in order to perfect your work. And you know that completing the work is the moment to celebrate, moment to pause, moment to own it, like really be in that energy and remember how it feels because it's so priceless. But also remember that that's a fuel to give you this hyper speed in order to go through that process again. And now I'm going to go to that point because that's the fifth step of the process. And I warmly invite you, if you have a thought about this process, if that thing that I'm sharing with you resonates somehow, if you're a crafter or non-crafter, please do share in the comment. I'm really curious because I believe that those metaphors, they can be taken further and the discussion below that can be really helpful for all of us. Hope to see you in the next episode. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go back to the episode 0 where I explain what is it all about, this blah blah I'm doing here. Those are crafting metaphors for handmade transformation. And I believe we can take it to basically anything we have in life. See you in the next episode.